Most businesses don't fail because of bad products. They don't fail because of weak markets. And they don't fail because people don't work hard enough. They fail because the people inside the company stop being treated as the asset. And what's wild is this usually happens in companies that are profitable, growing, and admired from the outside. Everything looks great on paper, but something inside the system quietly breaks. By the time anyone notices, enterprise value has already started leaking. Here's the truth most leaders say they believe, but don't actually operate from. The most valuable asset in any business is not the product, it's not the IP, and it's not the contracts. It's the humans, not as a feel good idea, but as an economic reality. When humans are treated as the asset, value compounds. When they aren't, value quietly erodes. And today, I want to walk you through a real workplace pattern that explains exactly how that erosion happens. Before we go any further, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Kathie Owen. I work with founders, executives, and investors, often in high-stakes environments, helping them understand what's actually happening inside organizations when things look strong on the surface but feel unstable underneath. My background is in human systems, leadership dynamics, and emotional regulation. I also study professional athletes, and I've done that for years because elite athletes are one of the clearest mirrors we have for leadership under pressure, identity, entitlement, and performance. I speak about this work on stage, and I apply it inside real organizations. What I'm sharing today isn't theory, it's pattern recognition. Picture a founder led company. It's profitable, well known in its niche, strong brand recognition, expanding product lines. From the outside, it looks solid, maybe even impressive. But inside the organization, subtle shifts begin to show up. People are hesitating before speaking. Decisions are made in smaller rooms, and feedback travels more slowly. Nothing dramatic, nothing that triggers alarms, but these are early signals, and they matter. This is where entitlement enters the system, and I want to be precise here. Entitlement isn't always arrogance. It isn't always loud, and it isn't always intentional. Entitlement is a leadership state. It looks like believing access to truth is optional, assuming loyalty equals alignment, mistaking silence for agreement, and rewarding people who manage the leader instead of the work. Inside the company, this creates inner circles, informal power lanes, message filtering, decision insultation. People don't need to brown nose, and I laugh as I say that. They simply learn what's safe. High performers are especially good at this. This is where professional athletes offer a powerful parallel. Elite athletes often have strong entitlement. I like to call them diva athletes. We all know one. They have strong entitlement, which means they have confidence. They have expectation of excellence and belief that they belong. But in sports, entitlement is contained by structure. There are performance metrics, there's coaching, there's external accountability, and there's constant feedback. Their ego serves execution. In founder-led companies, entitlement often has no container. I'm going to repeat that because it is important. In founder-led companies, entitlement often has no container. And this is where the fracture begins. Because identity and authority fuse, and accountability weakens. Feedback becomes threatening. The problem isn't entitlement itself. The problem is uncontained entitlement. When entitlement runs unchecked, predictable things happen. I've seen this happen so many times. Strong contributors in the work environment go quiet. Leadership roles reward proximity over competence. Human resources becomes defensive instead of protective. Terminations that happen lack transparency, and truth stops moving upward. People say things like, you have to be careful. It's already decided. And this isn't how it used to be. This is not a motivation issue. It's a signal integrity issue. The system can no longer tell the truth about itself. Customers feel this too, even if they can't name it. This is important to state. When entitlement drives leadership, strategy becomes reactive. Focus gets diluted. Hero products lose clarity. And expansion replaces mastery. So your customers will experience this. They will experience confusion. They'll experience inconsistency. They experience a brand drift, and they definitely experience reduced trust. That's how strong brands weaken quietly. This is where enterprise value is protected or destroyed. When humans signal flow breaks in the workplace, bad decisions compound, talent disengages, execution slows, and integrations fail. Revenue can hold for a long time while this is happening. That's why acquirers miss it. That's why boards miss it. That's why founders miss it until pressure hits. Yes, this is fixable, but not by removing power and not by humbling leaders. You fix entitlement by containing it. Remember the diva athlete? So that means you've got to restore signal flow. You've got to separate identity from control. You've got to create safe truth channels. You've got to stabilize leadership fear before it cascades, the same way elite athletes are held by structure. This is the work I do. I help founders, executives, and investors see what's happening inside the human systems before it becomes a financial or operational failure. Not through blame, not through shame, and not through surface level culture initiatives, but through clear observation of leadership dynamics, emotional regulation, my specialty, and signal flow. I'll be writing a companion blog that goes deeper into this case study. If this perspective resonates with you, feel free to follow along here. I do workplace case studies all the time. And if you found this video helpful and you know somebody who could benefit from it, please share it with them. And in the show notes and description below, I will include a link to the blog post. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.